I've always been infatuated with box office, not for what's $1 billion and what bombs, more like I'm always curious to see what clicks with audiences and what doesn't. Because I would have never thought in a million years Top Gun Maverick would have made over $1 billion. And there's also films where I never thought would have bombed, but did bomb. So when I saw The Flash, which is a huge tentpole movie, is set to only make 155 million worldwide. I was like, why isn't this clicking with audiences? Why don't they want to see it? And I'm just here to talk about that because it has good reviews, right? The fan reception apparently is pretty good. So I'm like, why isn't this going to sell well? It might sell well, but based on the predictions, which are pretty fairly accurate at this point, it's shocking to me. So I just started thinking about it, and I'm like, one, the big one is who's playing Barry Allen, Ezra Miller. I'm not going to get into it because it's not my place to say. I'm not the court. I'm not going to say what he did or didn't do. But there's a long, long, long list of very bad things that he has done. There's assault, there's theft, there's reported kidnapping. So who knows? It's not my place to judge him, and it's not my place to say he did those things without the evidence. So yeah, that's the first look. That's the first big thing, is when your lead star has so much controversy behind him, it's a rough sell. Now, the more I thought about it, I started thinking about Spider-Man No Way Home and how that made a massive truck ton. But then I realized all the kids that grew up with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are all adults now that would love to see them back, and they all went to see him back with Tom Holland. That makes sense. The issue with bringing back Michael Keaton, I love him as Batman, I love both Tim Burton movies, is that I don't think the nostalgia's there for him. Especially what came after him was two very poorly received Batman films with Val Kilmer and George Clooney. Not Michael Keaton's fault, obviously. And the people that watched Michael Keaton as Batman are now significantly older, and I don't know if him alone is enough to go see a Flash movie. And I personally think the big one is competition. Competition is rough this month of June because Guardians 3 is still in theaters, Spider-Verse is still in theaters, Transformers just came out, and the big one is Elemental is out the same day. Now, that's not supposed to make a ton of money either, but it's Pixar and Disney. It's guaranteed to bring in the kids and the parents, and that will take away from The Flash. And then the following week is Indiana Jones 5, which is also not supposed to blow up the box office, but it's a big tentpole movie that could pull away from The Flash. And these are three minor things that I think might hurt it. Is one, Zack Snyder, regardless of how you feel about the Batman v Superman, his Justice League, Man of Steel, I think he did more damage to this brand than people realize. Where those movies were so not beloved by the general audiences that it's kind of like backfiring. And The Flash also had a ton of like fan screenings, which if someone didn't like it from the fan screening, they're going to tell their friends and family, "Yo, don't go see it. It's bad." And that also showing it to so many people also hurts the box office because all those people already saw it, and most of them probably won't go pay to see it again. And the expectations for this movie are through the roof. You had James Gunn claiming, "Oh, it's one of the best superhero films of all time." High bar. Then you have directors like Edgar Wright, you have Stephen King, you have Tom Cruise, all praising this to the nth degree. And when you do that, you set the bar so high that there's bound to be a lot of disappointment. But there are two kind of pros for this could bounce back. good reviews. They're not glowing, but they're good. It's at 71 on Rotten Tomatoes, which again isn't bad, but it's not like a breakout hit. Which like if it got like a 95 or even an 85, I would say that's great for the film. But in the modern day, people are very picky about what they want to spend their money on, and if it's not a great film, I don't blame them for not wanting to spend their money. And the second thing that could save this is word of mouth. There are plenty of films that survived on word of mouth. Um, the biggest one is The Greatest Showman. That stayed in theaters for weeks past its due time. Of course, the biggest one is Avatar. That film started off relatively small, and people kept praising it, and week after week after week, it got bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't see that happening with The Flash because of all the other films coming out, but it could happen. But yeah, I don't know, because I thought this would be a surefire like 600 million. Easy. But now it's looking that it might not even break 400 million. And that's not good when the film costs 220 million to make, which in Hollywood standards you always have to double it and add in for marketing and all this stuff. So I'm assuming at the least it'll have to make 550 million just to break even. And I don't know if it can, but we're going to see in the next few weeks. I'll post an update when the box office is out, but it's not looking great. And I'm excited to see it at some point. It's a tough one. But those are just my thoughts. Like always, thanks for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And thanks for watching.